Let's be honest, did you really come to this movie to see a good story? Or did you really come to it to see monsters destroying shit and wreaking havoc? Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Matt with Level Up Reviews, and I'm here to review the movie Rampage. Rampage is a video game movie adaptation from the original video game. So the original video game was actually, and spoiler alert, they don't really go with this premise in the movie, but in the video game, they were actually humans that were worked on or experimented on that became the monsters. The reason I say this is that premise alone makes you care for the creatures. If they would have done that in this movie, I think I would have cared a little bit more about the creatures. That's one of the biggest downfalls about this movie is that you just don't care. You don't care about the wolf. You don't really care about the alligator. The gorilla is probably the only one you would actually care about. And the relationship between The Rock and George is probably the biggest dynamic of this whole entire movie. And it goes throughout the whole movie. Those are the only two characters you care about. The rest of the characters you don't care about. One of the characters got eaten, and I cheered. I was excited. Because you just don't care. But that being said, did you really come to this movie? Come on. You didn't come to see a good story. You came to see monsters wreaking havoc. That's the only point of this movie. And you know what? It delivers. It wasn't the hugest part of the movie, but it delivers it in a really good way. I actually had a smile on my face towards the end of the movie because they really do a good job. I mean, they really messed up Chicago. That being said, my biggest issue with this movie is the fact that the story was just crap, and some of the stuff they said has so many holes, so many plot holes. It was ridiculous. The dialogue was horrible. I actually remember one point the colonel, he literally they were discussing the alligator hadn't appeared yet, so they were discussing it, and next thing you know, the one's like, "Oh, there's a bogey. It's under the water," and he was just like, "There's no subs in that area." Well, no fucking shit. It's in Chicago. Of course, there's no subs in Chicago. It's not a port, nor is it a place that you actually connects to an ocean. That line was completely retarded. There was no need for that line. But they put it in the movie. I actually kind of chuckled at that point. But it was just little stuff like that. Like in the story, I'm not going to go too much into it because it is. I don't want to spoil it, but the story between how they were created and the experiments and everything, it was really weak. But then again, like I said before, did you really come to see a good story? No. You came to see some kick-ass monsters. And it delivers. And for that fact, this movie was actually enjoyable. I walked out with my fiance, and I even looked at her right after the movie, and I said, "What'd you think?" She goes, "It was awesome." Because it was. It was actually really, it was a fun movie. It's not a movie that's going to win any Oscars. It's not going to win sound design, cinematography, no, nothing. But it will be a good popcorn movie. So that's my only suggestion for this movie is if you want to go see a good popcorn movie, this is probably the movie to go see. I would probably give this movie about a 3.5, maybe a 4 out of 5, only for the sheer enjoyment factor of the movie. That's it. If it was actually down to just the storyline and there wasn't a bunch of action, this movie would probably be like a 1 or a 2. But because I actually walked out enjoying myself, I'm going to definitely say about a 3.5 to a 4. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It's always those little buttons down below in the corner to YouTube policy. If you're not hitting that bell, then you're not really seeing anything uploaded. So you got to make sure you hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. And have a good day. See you guys later. Bye.